But a lot of my clients are not using their slices enough because they're most likely committing one or even more of the mistakes that I'm going to show you in this video. And of course, I'm also going to show you how to fix them. So let's jump right in. Ideally, the slice, of course, stays low. It has some bite on it, and it really penetrates through the court. It skids through the court. The worst thing that can happen is if the ball kind of sits up here somewhere in mid-court, it bounces high, and yeah, it's just an offer for your opponent to jump on it. So what are some of the things that you could be doing wrong? You could be overcorrecting, or you could be overdoing the underspin. Now, we do know that the racket face is open when you're making contact on a slice. And the thinking could be that, oh great, the more I have my racket face open, the more cut I'm getting. And that's another thing. I don't necessarily like the word cut because it implies a hack. And that's something that we're going to deal with in a minute. If you have your racket face open, the ball will go up, but it's going to sit up. Your opponent has plenty of time to get there and nail that ball. So as opposed to what a lot of people think, actually, at contact point, the racket face is only ever so slightly open. Focus a lot more on having your correct grip. Just by having the proper grip, you will have the racket face open, but not too open. It will actually be kind of squared off. So work on getting the right grip. Your swing pass is incorrect. You could be hacking at the ball. And a lot of coaches are using the high to low for a slice. And that is only the partial truth, because you're actually having a high to lower to high swing again. One of my coaches when I was a junior said you want to scrape out the bowl. And that really drove it home for me that I don't want to end up down here, because what I'm going to do is either again the ball goes up because my racket face is too open, or I'm going to pull it straight into the net. So instead of coming from above the ball and then continuing to just hack down on it, focus more on extending through the ball. And of course, when the ball is lower, you're not manipulating this way. It's your entire body that gets under the ball. And I know what you're going to say. Yes, Roger Federer comes really sharply down on the ball, and Ash Barty does the same, and I want to hit a slice like that. I'm still going to maintain focus on extending through, work on your shallow U, and commit less errors with your slice, because I think hitting a slice like Ash or Fed might not be the most realistic thing for us mere mortals. Your preparation for the slice is just as crucial as for any other shot. What you're putting in the preparation is what you're going to have as a result with that slice. So one of the big things is take that racket back. Take it all the way back. And right now you're seeing the head of the racket behind my head. So there's no such thing. You cannot break a plane or something. That's utter. So make sure that you're actually using your offhand very actively. It has a role to play. I'm not using my right arm here to take my racket back. I'm literally just hanging on to the racket, and it's my left arm that helps with the take back. How high you take it back, that's individual flavor. Steffi Graf was a little flatter. Yes, Ash and Fed are up here. But regardless of that, the left arm helps big time. What you want with a further take back is that your racket has already traveled, has already gained speed before you make contact, because other than that, it's all arm. You're not getting anything on the ball, you're not getting bite on the ball, and you're losing control, of course. So make sure that you have that racket all the way back and bring it forward in one smooth, continuous motion. You might be sideswiping. If we look at footage of really good slicers, you will see that there is a coming across the body movement. But from the take back to contact point, they're side on to the court. They're side on to the incoming ball. And they stay sideways until they're at the end of their motion. Then they're coming around, because that's the axis around which your body is basically traveling, if you will. But you're definitely not wanting to do this here. You're not side swiping. So extend out and use your left hand, again, as a help. By bringing it back, actively back, you're helping yourself stay side on, your belly button, chest faces the outside curtain, and you're maintaining control a lot better. Try not to use your wrist at all, I almost want to say. The only time you're using it is if you're drop shotting, if you're carving around the ball. But on a regular ground stroke slice or approach slice, your wrist stays fairly firm. And it starts from the take back. You're building a box. So you have one side of the box here, another here, here, and here. And by doing that, you're allowing your elbow to bend. And as you're extending forward, it's your elbow that extends, but it's not your wrist. So what you definitely don't want to see is this. Stay in this V between forearm and upper arm, and also your forearm and the racket. 2 V's on the slice. Another key checkpoint that you're using your wrist too much is when you see the tip of the racket dropping below the wrist, below the butt cap. At contact, your racket should be fairly level. Yes, it could be ever so slightly that the tip of your racket is below your wrist, but it definitely doesn't want to be this here. And coming from back here, maintaining that wrist position, extending through, and you want to finish here. Now, of course, I still think Steffi Graf had the best slice ever, but a not so shabby one is this one here, Ash Barty. So if you're really getting the bug for the backhand slice, check out this video.